that we've always looked at is what problem can we solve and how
Mm.
can we help people. If you do that first and foremost and you focus solely on those pieces, you're going to be in a position obviously where marketing is going to work because you
Mm.
understand what those people's challenges are and how you can help them. And so as we've kind of moved through those processes, that's just kind of one core foundation we've always kept true to is like, really, all right, if we're going to move into this market, are we solving a problem or are we just another Me Too? And if we are another Me Too, how, because there's so many people in the space, like just in real estate investing, there's a lot of people in the real estate investing space, but
Mhm.
there's people that are standing out and growing at a very rapid pace because even though there's a ton of people in that space, they're doing things a little bit differently, which we'll
Yep.
talk about today,
Yep.
and how you can stand out. So I think
Mm.
it's truly, and on top of that, just, focus on caring,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
It's caring to truly help the consumer. And when you kind of focus on that side and really solve their problem and help them, marketing actually can be pretty easy.
What's up, guys and gals? Got an amazing guest with me today. Actually, Nate was up here in Oregon at the last Carrot Camp, but we've known each other for, I don't know, a lot of years. We'll get into it here in a little bit. But before I officially introduce you guys to Nate, one of the reasons that I'm bringing Nate on and his expertise, I kind of want to seed it for you guys. Years and years and years ago, when I had first met him and heard of this guy, Nate Kennedy, he was always kind of like not really just a behind the scenes marketer. He was also out there in the front, but behind a lot of the really smart marketers in the industry that I was in, there was this guy, Nate. Like Nate was driving traffic and optimizing their funnels and really making sure that they were dialing in their traffic generation, lead generation. And it was traditionally mostly in the real estate market. And then just the last several years, he's really hyper-focused in on real estate investors, applying those exact same methods where he generated hundreds of thousands, maybe millions, I don't know, it was a lot of leads through the companies before, took the same methods and applying for real estate investors. So you guys are in for a treat. We're going to dive in and learn what's working right now to generate leads online on the Facebook side of things, something he calls the celebrity effect, which I absolutely love what he's doing there. And we'll dive into it, guys. But welcome on the Carrot Cast, Nate.
All right, man. Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Yeah, it's been since I think 2009 maybe is when we met, man. We might be pushing 10 years now.
I know.
Crazy.
And that probably is about when, because that's when in 2008 is when I started JV Update. And that's kind of when I started to get, acquainted with everybody in the industry. And it was really cool. Like I said, seeing what you guys are doing when you're working with Josh and other people where you've got an amazing skill set for generating leads, knowing how to tap in the psyche of a lead, how to build value, like not just grabbing the lead, but how do you build value for that lead and make them really want to engage in what you're doing. So before we dive in, man, let's add some context to it. Let people kind of know who you are. What's your family life look like? I know you've got wife and kids, but let us know where you live, who you are, and what is your business?
Yeah, at this moment in time, out here in San Diego, California,
Mm-hmm.
but we met a long time ago. I spent grew up in Ohio and spent about 15 years in North Carolina, and then about 2.5 years ago, we moved out here to San Diego, sunny San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Just got done raining for a week last week, but sunny San Diego. So yeah, it's been out there. That's the family life. Got a wife, 2 kids. My son's all into sports. So that's always a blast. Never realized how much I love sports until he got into it.
Yep.
My daughter loves horseback riding, and she's more of the artist and the horseback riding, so all that good stuff. But on the business front, I've but my thing is I've been in the marketing space in all realms. I had my own I've started in the real estate space back in 2002 on the mortgage side of things. Started a mortgage company, started building homes, started doing all these things, and then got introduced to the online marketing space, and I got hooked, right?
Yep.
It's just like, oh wow, I can generate leads much easier now.
Mm-hmm.
So started really diving into that, and then it's kind of parlayed into I've wholesale properties, all that good stuff in the real estate space as well. Done rehabs, and then I really just dove into online because I loved it. It just fit well with my personality and things I enjoy doing, and that's where my company kind of came about. We've done everything from building big old funnels to driving traffic, but at the end of the day, it just comes down to having the right system for the right people. Getting your message at the right time in front of the right people. So it's and that's we've been doing that since I started the marketing agency in 2007. It's evolved I used to had some, as you know, I had some of my own info product companies that we built and sold.
Yep.
Then now we've been full-time agency for some of the bigger trainers in the education space, as well as a lot of local real estate investors on the traffic side. So, it was
Dude, and one thing I want to point out too, because this is something I've been hammering over and over again in the CarrotCast. I did an entire series in marketing earlier in the year where I kind of unpacked the main kind of learning lessons I want everyone to know. Everyone should know these things about marketing. And one of the things that people need to understand is they'll complain about where they are in their business or where they are in their life or their income or whatever it is. And they think, I need to go get leads. I need to learn how to generate leads, or I need to learn how to do this. But they don't put in the energy, effort, and commitment to learn how to be a great marketer. And I think it's a great example showing what you've done, what I've done, a lot of other people that we know. When you learn how to be a great marketer and you learn the psychology behind what makes someone move, away from something that they have a pain and towards something that can help solve the pain. And how do you have the marketing connect the two? Guys, you can go into any industry you want to and have success in it when you have that happen. When the market starts to get hard, you pull back and you know how to market your way out of it. Right. But where people struggle is they put all of the trust and all of the marketing mind in someone else, and they themselves don't learn that. So either you guys better be the great marketer, or you guys better have someone on your team to be the great marketer, or align with an agency who's an insanely great marketer that you guys trust a lot. So Nate, I know you're an amazing marketer, and kind of how when you're looking to go into a new industry, let's say you went from the mortgage side of things to the information and online side of things, and building funnels, now over here to the investor side of things, for a few years ago. How has your marketing foundation helped you to transition through that, and kind of what are some of those things that you carry through whatever industry you go into?
Yeah, but it's the unsexy side of marketing is understanding your avatar, right?
Yep.
Where a lot of people just want to put a page up and generate some leads. It's, one thing that we've always looked at is what problem can we solve and how can we help people?
Yep.
And if you do that first and foremost and you focus solely on those pieces, you're going to be in a position, obviously, where marketing is going to work because you understand what those people's challenges are and how you can help them.
Yep.
And so as we've kind of moved through those processes, that's just kind of one core foundation we've always kept true to, is like, really, all right, if we're going to move into this market, are we solving a problem, or are we just another Me Too? And if we are another Me Too, how, because there's so many people in the space, like just in real estate investing, there's a lot of people in the real estate investing space, but there's people that are standing out and growing at a very rapid pace, because even though there's a ton of people in that space, they're doing things a little bit differently, which we'll talk about today, and how you can stand out. So I think it's truly, and on top of that, just, focus on caring, right?
Yep.
It's caring to truly help the consumer. And when you kind of focus on that side and really solve their problem and help them, marketing actually can be pretty easy.
Dude, that's such a big thing right there, guys. I want you to reverse this and listen to this again, because what most real estate investors or agents do is they're caring about themselves. Like, they're worrying about, how do I get leads? How do I get more transactions? Versus, how do I find the people I can best help and relay the message so well that I'm the best person to help them, that that they avoid the pains of working with the worst solution? And how do I make sure I get in front of every single person I can help? And that's really what it's about. Like, shift that darn mindset, guys. Get out of the mindset of how do I get mine, and into the mindset of how do I help those that I'm uniquely suited to help get theirs. And then how do I make sure that they know that I'm the person best suited to help them, which we'll talk about.
Yep, absolutely.
Sure. Dude, so kind of going down my notes here, I know here at Carrot, we talk about building authority, building authority with content. And how do you become the niche authority in your market, whether it's an investor or an agent? I think investors for the last 4 or 5 years have kind of sat back and, like, honestly taken the quote unquote easy route, where hey, let's just do the volume game. Let's just put out as much volume of marketing as we possibly can. Let's ignore doing the foundational elements that are really important to helping us stand out, like you said. But now I think the next 2 to 5 years, that's going to change, man, because you have the iBuyers coming in, and more agents are starting to make offers on properties, not just investors. And there's more investors now. So how do you, when you're working with a client, how do you help them stand out? How do you help them win more deals when there's a cluttered market?
Yeah, I think, number one, it's, to us, there's 3 core pillars. right? On this front, when you're in the local, a local market, and our number one goal is to turn companies into market leaders, right? So when they come to us, we want to turn your company into the market leader, and there's three core pillars that does it. One is you've got to have your online presence and your web presence, right? That's what Carrot does. It instantly, helps you put that out there. And I know you guys help, differentiate, local people with your services. And then there's also the content plan and the content marketing. Like, what exactly is your content going to be? How are you going to use it? And what value are you going to put in the marketplace? And then the third foundation and third core pillar is how do you amplify that content? And so if you have those three pieces, the two pieces are very, very important. That's the foundational piece. But what a lot of people, when they put those in play, and SEO is a great game and it's a great long game. And I think everybody should be focusing on it at some point in the side of their business. But you have this valuable pieces that you can use paid traffic for to amplify that stuff very, very quickly. So if you've got great testimonial video, you've got a great house walkthrough, you can put ads, you can go to Facebook and Instagram and just press, set up an ad campaign and drive local eyeballs to your content, your value that you're putting into the marketplace very, very quickly. And then as that other stuff starts gaining traction over time, you've been able to accelerate the success from it, right?
And so when you talk about paid marketing, you guys are using Facebook a lot, I know. Are you guys using anything else to amplify the content, amplify the credibility you guys are putting out there?
We spend a lot of our time and energy on Facebook and doing the local marketing side and keeping it that way. So we do get into the Google and there's other things that you can do, right? But for the most part, to amplify content really quickly, we do it via Facebook.
Cool. I love it. So let's break the process down a little bit for people. So when you pick up and work with a client, and guys and gals, Nate's in our marketplace. If you guys want to work with Nate, work with this company, and you are a Carrot customer or have access to our marketplace, just head over to carrot.com/marketplace. That's carrot.com/marketplace and look up their company in there. And as of the time we're recording this, you guys are in the middle of a branding change, which is really exciting. It's really cool. So as of right now, it's probably going to be optimized assets, correct?
Correct.
And then you guys are moving towards,
depending on when you're listening to this, we are coming into the marketplace as Marketing Rebels.
Cool.
So marketingrebels.com is where we'll be at here in the future, which I'm super excited about. We do things differently. We're rebels at our core, and so we just really want to drive that point home and really put it out there with people that, hey, if you want to do things differently, you want to own your market, those are the people we want to help.
Dude, and that's so important right now. Like I've been banging this drum for the last couple of years. The guys, especially as we'll have a lot of bigger investors that have been with us for years and years. They'll hit us up and say, man, the first 6 months of this year were the toughest I've had in years, or whatever it is. I've heard that story a lot. And what usually happens that's common with those people is they're doing the things that were working a year, 2, 3 years ago, but they're not doing the things that we've been talking about for years, you and I, of building in the credibility and trust and getting really proactive with that, like you said, as your foundation, because all of your marketing is going to end up going in some way, shape, or form, seeing that credibility and trust or lack of it online. And then the next thing is leverage content to stand out, guys. Because if every investor out there is making the same darn offer to customers, I'm not talking dollar amount offer, I'm talking your services. How do you position your services? If everyone's like, I can buy a house, I pay cash, and I close quickly, you're doing the same thing as everyone else. So then all your prospects, you're going to be winning deals where you're either the first or you have the highest dollar amount offer. So how do you win the deals where you're not the first or you don't even have the highest dollar offer? That's by doing stuff that Nate talks about, that I talk about. We're going to break it down a little bit. So when someone's looking to get going at first, what are some of the things that you look at? So let's say I'm a brand new client, or you're talking to the brand new client. They're doing active deals. They're not brand new. Let's say that they'll do 25 transactions this year and they want to grow that, right? What are some of the first things that you look at or questions that you ask them to make sure that they're in a good position to win the way that you guys do marketing?
Yeah, number one is, do you have client video testimonials? Right? I mean, that's usually one of the first questions we have. And if they don't, then we say, all right, well, let's go get them.
Yep.
And because that's something it's one thing for us to go ahead and sell ourselves, but it's completely different when someone else is talking about us and selling our services and whatnot. So it's the very same thing as, when you're competing with all these other people, as you mentioned, you're either the highest dollar offer, the first one there. Well, if they saw and you have multiple client testimonials, I'll talk about how we can leverage those strategically, but you have the ability to now, like, yeah, I mean, we've been around, like, you can see this information, you can see the people that we've helped in the community in that manner. So that's number one. Number two is we take them through a process, and we want to make sure that there's a list of content pieces that we like to create. We like for our clients to go and leverage other local experts in their market to do some interviews and video interviews, to be able to start building these digital footprint pieces, right? These like little steps and breadcrumbs that we can push out into the internet and whatnot, and push out there first. And so we want to it's all video based for the most part that we like to focus on. And what's cool about, you have it coming out inside of Care pretty soon, right? With the with the video being transcribed and pushed out. So now you're getting multi-use of that video, which is nice, right? Because you can have it transcribed, you can turn it into a blog article, create one more breadcrumb that's out there in the internet for you. So when people start searching, they find you. And then if all of a sudden they start seeing your stuff everywhere, who's the expert? Subconsciously, who's the expert? You, not the guy who, whatever the domain is that they have, but the random other company that's not taking the time to do that. So we focus solely on how do we get the right content. We have a whole fireside chat formula process we walk through, and it designs out, all right, here's the content pieces we're going to create. You're going to go record them. And a lot of people sometimes freak out and go, man, I can't be recording videos all the time. You don't have to. So we always start with the client testimonials. Get some of those first. Those are easy. And then it compounds. Like, all right, now that you need to do these video pieces and you need these content pieces, next time you're at a property, go create one with this messaging. And then you just start compounding those pieces, as opposed to don't think you got to overwhelm yourself and go do 30 hours of video right now.
And dude, people, like, because I talk with a ton of people, we're always preaching the video thing, especially with video posts, the feature that we've got, like you said, that turns your videos into written articles. And we'll talk about video a lot, and a lot of people go, well, I don't have the time for it, or they have this massive mental mind block on what they're going to do videos on, or they need professional, cameras or all that kind of stuff. What do you guys usually direct them to do as far as equipment? Are they just using their cell phone? Do you have them use like fancy cameras? What do you use?
So we get super fancy.
Right there. Exactly.
It's in your pocket,
guys. So if you guys aren't watching the YouTube version, Nate picked up his cell phone. Guys, cell phones. I mean,
what are they? The iPhone, they're investing all these new upgrades into their camera. I mean, it's crazy. Like, that's always the big pitch now, I feel like, on an iPhone. Here's what makes it different. It's camera. So it's, you can do your video from there. And where I'm at, I'm one of those, I think, in the environment and the clientele that real estate investors are helping, it doesn't need to be a full-blown professional cut-up video and everything else. I think it needs to be it needs to be authentic, and you're authentic by just pulling up the camera, talking into it, right? Think about it. People do business with who they know, like, and trust. You're not going to go cut up a professional video to send it to your family. You're gonna create the video and you're gonna post it, and that's it, right? So I think you should do some little, put some branding on it, your logo, and edit it if you wanted to. You can find someone, if you're one of our clients, we do all that editing for them. If it's, other ways, there's other places they can go to get people to do those video editing for pretty, inexpensive. But, I think it's important to just do it, so it comes down to us, just do the work, right? Because if you do it, if you're thinking that same thing and there's 10 investors in your marketplace and not a single one of them's created a video and you created a video, you're instantly ahead of the game.
And guys, same thing. I want to double down on what Nate's saying here, and then we'll kind of break apart a little bit, more of the steps here for you. Is the last several years, you could go by volume and you can win a lot of deals. And I'm not saying that's not going to happen moving forward, but what's going to happen is more and more. And I remember at Collective Genius 2.5 years ago, I was doing a presentation 2.5 years ago at CG. Amazing mastermind. And the presentation I was doing was all about building your credibility profile. And I showed them exact things that they should be doing. And most of the guys are like, I don't really need to do this. Look at my numbers. Now those same people are the people that are behind by 6 or 8 months in building their online credibility profile. Because when they do their text message blast, or they do their cold calling or their direct mail or whatever it is, people are picking up that phone and they're Googling their company name. They're seeing, oh, they have no reviews or one negative review because that person complained about this one little thing that happened, and that's what's on their BBB. Or a website that is set up right. Maybe even if it's a Carrot site, it's set up right to convert technically, but you need to stand out, like Nate's saying, with content, with credibility, adding that expertise. So when you guys are doing working with clients, creating the celebrity effect. So it starts with getting them to create content, like you said. Once they get that content done, Nate, what happens next? How do you guys get it out in front of people now?
Yeah, so I'll answer that in a second. Just to add on to what you're saying, perception online is reality,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you don't care about your online presence, that's the perception people are going to get, right? If they see that stuff. If you actually take the time to put some energy into it, that's what they're going to see, and it's going to just separate you, because most people don't think about it.
Yeah.
So the next steps for us is we get those videos. We want to push it out, right? We want to get it on your Carrot site. We want you to get it into your Facebook page, out into your Facebook pages or fan page. We want you to get it into a YouTube channel as well, and get the content out there. Now, once we have the content out there and published out there in the great World Wide Web, so people can actually find it, the next thing we want to do is on the Facebook side, we're going to create ad campaigns. Now, we do a couple of different things with ad campaigns. And what's really cool about video, and another reason I like it a lot, is because, and we'll get into the kind of the specifics here with Facebook, is it allows you to create audiences, right? So you have the ability now to create an actual audience. If someone watches a 3-minute testimonial video from you, or a 1-minute testimonial video, whatever it is, if they watch that audience, you can say, hey, Facebook, I want to go ahead. Anyone who watched this video, I want to show them an ad for my company. Or anyone who watched this video, I want to show them another video. So we start structuring these campaigns out to where we've got top of funnel, right? Kind of our cold market, our cold traffic, people who don't know us. And we want to put videos in front of them because we want them to see our face. We want them to see our company brand. We want them to instantly, have the conversation if they're build the awareness, right? Here's where we are. And then once we've got them engaged in our audience, we can now show them videos and content and offers to help them so when the time is right. So I was just down in the Virgin Islands at a mastermind, and they were talking about that, like how 1 month you make an offer, they want nothing to do with you. Month 2, they make an offer, they want nothing to do with you. Month 3, nothing. Month 4, all of a sudden they just had a bunch of tenant issues. They hate it. They're mad. They want to get rid of it. So they're selling you the property, right?
Yep.
So if you're top of mind and you're keeping this audience there and staying top of mind, it allows you to pick those deals up when no one else, or when they're thinking of it, right? So how many times have people sat at a dinner, or having a conversation and said, hey, I saw this on Facebook, right? So how many times has that conversation been had? So when someone's talking about, hey man, I need to sell this house over here, it's been a pain in my rear or whatever, all right, well, hey, you know what? I just saw these guys on Facebook, right? So there's way more power to doing it this way than I think people give credit for, because everyone's so focused on run ad, get lead, make call, generate deal, right? Whereas if you have these others, and you're not spending tons of capital to run these campaigns, we just structured a campaign with a client that is not really worried about the lead gen right now. They just want to build the brand. So we're putting together a $500 or $1,000 a month budget with them just to get video content and messaging and processes, so people can start building that audience locally. So,
dude, one thing that's really important about that too, because I want people to latch onto this is especially with real estate investors, but agents as well. A lot of people have a very short-term mindset with their paid marketing. They go, I'm going to put X amount of dollars in, and just like with the direct mail drop, I expect that immediately to return me this much results. And what Nate's talking about will do that as well. But I think where the real power is in the momentum it builds. It's the larger that audience gets on that front end, the top of funnel content where people are watching it, and then the larger the larger that next stage of the funnel gets, and you're starting to wrap them into more content, busting through objections in your videos, showing more testimonials, maybe link to an article, blog on yours and your Carrot site that walks you through the differences between iBuyers and your program or whatever it is. And like Nate said, you're just always in front of them at that point. You're in front of hundreds or thousands of people. That's where the power is, because timing is so critical in marketing. Maybe they have a problem, but the pain isn't quite there yet for them to take action, or maybe they're not ready, but in 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months it is. And that's where the momentum comes. A lot of people are doing marketing that doesn't build momentum. They put marketing out and we expect something to come back. It doesn't really work the whole way that they want, and they stop and go do something else. And momentum can never be built.
Yep. And if you think about it too, if you're sending direct mail, let's say you're driving on a website, if you're doing these things and they're searching your company or putting your website on these other outbound marketing pieces, when those people go to your website, you have your Facebook pixel on there, you have your Google tracking on there and everything else. And what happens now is now they're in that audience. So this is someone hyper targeted that you just sent a mail piece to that came to your website, and now you can retarget them with these videos and everything else. So you're gaining more value in that. Your marketing dollars are going farther at that point, right? As opposed to, but I think, like you said, people are so focused on the transactional side and getting it done in short term. But if you put these, understanding that marketing is multi-channel now, it has been. And if you, as long as you understand that and leverage it, you're going to be in a much, much better position. And just know that, hey, I know that having these videos and these ad campaigns on can have a positive effect and potentially pick up more deals from this other outbound marketing that I'm doing as well. So,
dude, so on the top of funnel, I have a couple questions for you. So on the top of funnel, when you're setting one of those campaigns up, how many videos are you usually, or how many ads are you usually creating in that top of funnel? And then what do you usually do for your targeting that's working right now?
Yeah, so the targeting, interesting enough, is they came out with the new process where you have to, special category housing, right? So we have that, and so we're testing different targets that you're very limited in what you can do on radius and the zip code piece and all that now. But what you can do is still take some different targets like divorce and things of that nature that are in there, and target based on those. So we're breaking all that stuff out effectively and testing different types of, interest, right? Or potentially have, talked about this. So we do that. And then what we're doing is, and I'll explain kind of one of our you asked me earlier about a cool thing we were doing. I was cool. Down for you. It just reminded me of it.
Love it.
But so we're, for us, we want to do problem solution based videos on the top of funnel. And we're trying to reach the entire market. I mean, local markets are only so big, right? So especially if you're doing a 15-mile radius, there's only so many people within that. Unless you're in like LA, it's a lot different. If you're in major markets, it's definitely different. But as you create that, we want to actually put some of these different layered interest on it, and then consume that marketplace. We've done it with one video, we've done it with 10. So I think once you get into the structure of how it's set up is where it really matters.
Is there a certain budget that you're allocating per day for that top of funnel stuff?
Yeah, not a ton. We're doing anywhere from $10 to $20 a day.
Okay, cool. So low dollar major there.
Yeah.
And then let's break apart some of the numbers you guys seen, if you don't mind. What are you guys seeing on average? I know I don't want people to like, oh, my lead cost is better than your lead cost kind of thing, because it's so subjective based on the market that you're in, right? But what are you guys seeing on average as far as results from doing this? Do you guys have like a target cost per lead that you're kind of shooting for? Are you guys seeing, certain ROIs come out of this? What are you guys seeing right now?
Yeah. So prime example, we had one of our clients in the office about a month ago, and he was in here. We were breaking stuff down with him and setting it all up. And he actually just posted in our private group with, he just closed a $30K deal.
Sweet.
From his ads, and he hasn't spent but $600 on the ads since he's been here. So, I think the ROI is completely different. Every market's different, as you said. What we really focus on is we kind of we back into it and say, okay, great. If you're averaging 15,000 per deal, are you willing to spend X to acquire that deal? And then we figure out how many leads we need to get to be able to pick up a closing, right? Pick up an actual contract that closes. And our leads range anywhere from any given week from $20 up to $120. And we've got one client where our leads are actually on Facebook are $300. So he's in Canada, and it's a different market, completely different. We're doing a lot of education on the front, and we were getting them. Interesting enough, his leads, to illustrate what you were saying earlier, his leads started out right around $80. And I know what happened is one of the months we analyze the numbers every month, and he had 92 leads come in. He closed one deal. His team did a heck of a lot of heavy lifting to get to that one deal, right?
Yeah.
So we came back, we're like, all right, we need to figure, this isn't, obviously your market's different. We got to come up with a better solution here. So interesting enough, we moved him to Carrot. And then what we did is we took on and changed a lot of the languaging. His thing is, I don't care what I pay per lead. I pay what I care what I'm paying per deal. And so we just had a meeting with them again yesterday. We had, 58 leads and 3 deals.
Sweet.
So what would you rather have?
Oh, big time.
So, and his team's happier, right? Because the team, when if you got your team and you don't want to be chasing down 98 leads for one deal, if you can, chase down one and close 1 out of 20, why would you do 1 out of 92?
Yep. Dude, one thing you said a little bit earlier, I want people to write this down, is you guys, the client said, I don't care what I'm paying per lead, I care what I'm paying per deal. And that's something that we've, in our max cost per deal, max cost per lead calculation, we talk about the same thing, but still the issue that we run into with even experienced investors is they'll get wrapped up in the darn lead costs. They talk to a buddy in a mastermind, and he's getting leads for 75 and I'm paying 220. And so that's where we'll have to walk backwards with the same math that you talked about. It's like, all right, let's start at the top. Let's start the average profit per deal. How many leads does it take you to get one of those deals? What would you trade in order to get that deal and marketing costs? And then we walk it back. And guys, I say this over and over again because it's true. And I want everyone to adopt this, is you have to remove emotion from your marketing equation. You have to remove emotion from your marketing budget. It's got to be based on math. When things are based on math, then you can work with a team or work with a team like Nate's team and go, hey guys, I just need to get deals for X. Here's my metrics. You guys go out there and figure out how to do that. And I'll collaborate with you on making sure to get you guys the assets that you need.
Now you're focusing on the data, not the drama, right?
Yeah.
And everyone focuses on the other piece of it. When you just keep it to data, it's easy, because now you're making decisions based on that as opposed to emotion.
Dude, let me ask you a question. Since you have an agency and you've worked with a ton of clients. I was talking with my coach, Dan Martell, on the software side down in San Diego several months ago. And I was there for a couple of days.
Yeah, what happened, man?
Dude, I was in and out, man. I was like, I get there and I actually had to leave the event a day early, and it was like I was jamming. I thought about hitting you up. Like I just had no buffer time. Breakfast, lunches, dinners were with the group, everything.
Oh yeah.
But here's the question I've got. Is one thing that Dan brought up is he said, I've got friends who would refer to me an agency that they've had a lot of success with. And he said early on, this is what happened with him before he had a better process. And he goes, I hired this one company and they were really bad. Like they didn't work for me at all, but my buddy's saying they crushed it for them. And then vice versa. Dan's got a company that running whatever YouTube marketing for him and crushing it. And he hands it over to his buddy, and his buddy's like, oh, it's garbage. It doesn't work for me. Now that happens with all agencies or most agencies, but one distinction he gave is he said he really boiled it down, and it was the way that the client was actually engaging with the agency. Was the client managing that relationship well and giving the agency what they needed to succeed? And a lot of them were kind of sitting back and going, well, I hired them, they're experts, I'm going to keep being busy over here in my work, and I'll kind of give them what they need, and it's probably going to be late every time. And then I expect them to hit these numbers, and I'm not giving them everything they need. So what is your ideal working relationship when you work with someone? So if someone's going to go hire an agency, you guys are someone else, what should they be showing up to that relationship ready to provide in order to maximize the value?
Phenomenal question, because my team and I have this conversation consistently with the clients that we have success with and the clients that we haven't had success with. And believe me, we want our clients to have full success because it's hard to find new clients. We want to keep our clients long-term. I mean, we've got clients we've had for 5 years still with us. I love it. Right. And that's where we always want to be, but that's not always the case. And where we know the big difference is with the guys that stick with us and our clients that stick with us versus the ones who don't are the ones, and I'm getting more more stern on phone calls over time too. Like, look, if you're not willing to do this, which is spend the time with us onboarding and going through the video content, if you're not willing to record the video content and send it to us, if you're not willing to do ongoing video content as you keep growing your business, like, you know, you could do one a week, one a month, but just get us new stuff and fresh stuff over and over. If you can't do a 3-minute video twice a month, then this probably isn't the avenue for you. Right. And so I'm now very direct in that manner of, this is what we need. And this is what the requirement we have for you. If you can't do it, then, hey man, you know, no hard feelings. We just want to, you know, set us up for success. And so if they're willing to do that, then, you know, we just keep rolling it and keep doing it, and fresh content and building and building and building. It just keeps growing. Right. So that's what we're looking for. But we have found the clients we've struggled to get results for is the ones who haven't actually sent us the content. There's a direct reflection. Our clients that are saying, hey man, I just closed a $30K deal. He came in, he created the video, he put the video up, he ran the ad, he closed $30K deal. The client who comes to me and says, yeah, I'm all in for the videos. Can you just get some conversion campaigns going up to get some leads coming in? Yeah, we can do that. And then 2 months go by and we still don't have videos. Hey man, I'm struggling to close deals. I know. So, you know, and I don't say that to be mean by any means. It's just more of like, I want you, our number one core value of Marketing Rebels is results. And if we're not getting results, then we're not doing our job. But results are required. It's a mutual relationship, you know, like it's a partnership. You know, we're partnering with the local investor to make it work. And if you put in the work and we put in the work, we're going to get results and grow. So
I like it, guys. And I want you guys to let that sink in big time, because I've made the mistake several times working with agencies where I hired the agency thinking it's going to be a silver bullet, but then I didn't carve out the time on my end to really fully commit and get them when they needed it. We hired an amazing Facebook agency at the end of 2018 for our business, for Karen. Highly recommended from a bunch of people I respect. And she's great, man. She's like wicked smart. Her processes are great. Her team is great. We started off pretty hot and we're getting good results, good ROI. And then they kept on saying, hey, we need this. Hey, we need this. And I kept letting myself get busy and not make a priority to get her that. But then I still held them at the same high standard of, well, I need this ROI. And eventually they had to part ways because I wasn't an ideal client anymore. And so I want you guys to be ideal clients for people you work with, whether it's Google AdWords, Facebook marketer, you know, with Nate's company who does a bunch of stuff, SEO, like I don't care what it is. If you guys are going to go out there thinking it's a silver bullet where you're going to sign a check and then not be involved at all, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be creating stuff that works as far as fundamentally, but doesn't help you stand out, because you need to be providing the stuff that helps you stand out. You are the one that has that extra special gift that no one else had, because it's you. And if you don't give that to them, you're not going to be able to get great results, guys.
Yep. I mean, we'll give you the framework, you know, but we can do everything but record a video for you. So
I love it. So dude, so you launched the campaign, you've got, you know, some testimonial ads, videos, things like that in that top of funnel. Are you putting any ads in that top of funnel that are like straight up saying, hey, we'll buy your house? Or is it primarily content and stuff?
So we do too, right? So we have a top of funnel. We do a conversion campaign where let's just get some leads coming in. And then what we do is we also actually run a small like campaign. We've seen positive effects by just simply having a small like campaign going. So like campaign is basically run an ad to get them to like your family. Right? And people say the likes are gone and don't work. But for us, we've actually, by having a very small budget dedicated to that, it's improving our results on the backside. It works. So the data. So, and so that's another piece we set up. And then, so we have the conversion campaign, the like campaign, and we have the top of funnel video campaigns. And then what we do is where we take it to the next level is inside of Facebook, you can say, all right, anyone who's watched any of these 5 videos and within the last 7 days has watched 25% of these videos. And then now you can make this an infinite process. So you take all these videos. Let's say that audience is 1,000 people that have watched that video in the last 7 days. All right. So you can create another campaign. And in that campaign, you say, all right, anyone in the audience of 0 to 7 days, show them this video. And anyone in the audience, and now you take those same 5 videos and say, anyone who's seen this audience watched this video in the last 14 days, anyone's watched in the last 28 days, right? And you just go on. And And those audiences are farther out. But what we now is we step them and say, all right, so week 1, we go, anyone who's in the last 7 days, we take that 7-day audience and we say, show video 1. Then we take the 14-day audience and exclude the 7-day audience and show them video 2.
Okay.
And then we take, the 21-day audience, exclude the 7-day and 14-day and show them video 3. So we're staying in front of them over a month, right? And we're excluding the top of funnel stuff. So it's like every week they're seeing a new video from you. They're seeing a new testimony of it. Like, oh man, these people are real, right? Like it's not just someone who just threw up I'll buy your house, image and house with the, kind of thing up there,
Yep.
So it's flat out. It's gaming the system, and you're not spending, the audiences aren't big on a local side. So you're not spending a ton of capital to do that, for those audiences. They're not that big. So,
yep. I like it.
Yeah.
Dude, anything else on the Facebook and celebrity effect side of things that we haven't dove into?
Man, no, I mean, I would say that's the concept's there, leverage it because it's super powerful. Just a story I love telling about the celebrity effect is a client of ours. Two deals and 1 reduced pricing for his rehabs. So one was, lady called him up and he was like, how'd you hear about me? She goes, an agent called him and he's an investor and goes, how'd you hear about me? I saw your video on Facebook. They ended up doing a $30K deal together. He ended up having a family friend call him and goes, how'd you hear about me? Or not hear about me, but like, why'd you think of me? And she goes, well, I saw your video on Facebook. They closed a $40K deal together. Like it was a distant family friend. It wasn't And then he was walking through Home Depot one day and the guy goes, man, and one of the managers at Home Depot, it's like, hey, I've seen your videos on Facebook. How can I earn your business?
No kidding. That's cool.
There you go, man. That's crazy. So there's power behind it. Much more power, I think, than people give credit for it because it's not a tangible thing you can see right away,
Dude, one thing that's probably popping up in people's mind, because I think everyone who's seriously wanting to compete in 2020, 2021 and stand out against the iBuyers and stand out against all the competition and really start to wedge your way in there, they want to gain that position of being a local authority, being a local celebrity, but they're probably going, what's the budget look like? So let's say, I'm making it up, let's say a town of 100,000 people, between 100 and 250,000 people, and you guys are going to go in. What kind of budget are you guys usually making sure that person allocates to the Facebook ad side of things for creating a celebrity effect?
Yeah, I mean, it's those little bit kind of smaller market there. You can be anywhere. We at least want a minimum of 25 a day, right? And then from there, you would probably cap out around $100 a day with that market size.
Yep.
And then from there, what you're looking at, you can spend more, but there's a diminishing return on your investment. And, we've had clients who want to spend a ton of money in a marketplace, but back in the day, we used to run a ton of fitness traffic.
Yep.
And one of our clients was like, I don't care. I want to spend more money than everyone else because I want to drown out any one of my competitors so they only see me. So his lead cost would like 4X, but he's like, I don't care. Everybody sees me. So
yeah.
No, you can do that, but your cost is going to go up, and I don't recommend it. So, but I think, in that size market, anywhere from $25 to $100 a day, and then you can start scaling it up from there.
Cool.
And then one more tip I want to give that I haven't dropped there yet. So you can take all these videos you do and you can put them into a playlist. So let's say you have all your testimonial videos. You can put them all into a playlist on YouTube. And then you can have a small dollar retargeting campaign, YouTube campaign running that every time somebody logs into YouTube, there's your name, your face, your testimonial of another client. So not only are you hitting them on Facebook, you're also hitting them on YouTube. So, and it's much easier than what I broke down for Facebook. It's just like every time they log in, it's the next, right?
Dude, that right there is cool. And guys, let's tie it all up into a big bow for you too. So if you're building a celebrity effect on Facebook, following what Nate mentioned, you take those same videos, put them over to YouTube in that strategy he just mentioned. You take those same videos and put them into video posts on your Carrot site and optimize them according to our training. Now you're pretty much everywhere that those prospects are going to go. If you think about it, if you think about how did Zillow win? How did Amazon win? Guys, they won because they dominated Google search. They won because they dominated Google search, and then they started amplifying through paid marketing outside of that. But the problem is that takes time, right? It takes time. It takes a lot of energy. you have to really build momentum there. With the ad side of things, you can get that happening immediately as soon as you start to get the videos created. So take that video, follow Nate's process in there with kind of that scaling of the ads through the different top of funnel, middle of funnel, that kind of thing. Do it on YouTube, and then start putting one video a week into video posts to get those ranked organically. Now people are searching for things in Google. They're the highest, most motivated prospects. You're going to be in front of them on video there, building authority. Everywhere they go on social, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, you're going to be in front of them as well. I love it. So that's the true celebrity effect. You're going to be everywhere that they're going, your highest, most motivated prospects. And your big competitors aren't doing this stuff yet, guys. They're still pumped. They're still ramping up their direct mail budgets because their response rates are going lower, and they're still picking up the phone and doing cold calling and not bashing those. They work. But can you imagine if you're everywhere that their prospects are searching online? That'd be pretty cool. For sure. Nate, any closing words, man? Anything that's on your mind, whether it's lead gen like this or just as an entrepreneur? I know you've been an entrepreneur for years and years and years, and we're going through a little market shift right now. Any wisdom for people in their entrepreneurship? Putting you on the spot, dude.
Put me on the spot. It comes down to two things. And one is you got to do the work. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying you got to do all the minuscule, all the minor tasks in your business. You can always hire that out or outsource that out, right? Or hire someone to do it, but got to do the work. Like if you get into the game now doing this and getting this implemented in your business, because if you don't, someone else is going to. Mm-hmm. And, nothing worse than some FOMO.
Yep.
So, and then the second piece is with that, when it comes to do the work, find the who to do the how, right? If it's not you and that's not your core, your core competency, find the who can do the how. And that's one thing a buddy of mine's always preaching, and it hits home. It's really true. Like, I'm not the best at specific things, but I have people around me that are good at it. So that those are the who that can do the how, right?
So, dude, that's a big one there. And I want to break that apart for listeners really quick, because the first time I heard that, I think Dan Sullivan had mentioned it years ago, and I had heard it. And dude, it's been resonating with me a lot this year, especially because I've found myself getting sucked into Googling and like trying to find out the how myself. Then I waste a ton of time. And I'm like, damn, I should have just found the who. I should have found the person who already knows that, just like Nate said. And so if you guys want to really accelerate your business, do exactly what Nate said there. Find the who, the person who already knows how to do that thing, and you go do what you're best at. Guys, that's such a big deal. Go do that. One thing I want to finish with this last question that popped up in my mind. This is completely self-serving, by the way, too, but also I'm curious. So I know, we reconnected, several months back, maybe a year ago. And you said, man, all my clients, I'm moving them over to Carrot, and we're using Carrot a lot. You guys know how to build amazing websites. You've been building websites and landing pages and squeeze pages for years and years. You have a tech team that can do this stuff. Why are you directing your clients to use Carrot in the real estate side of things rather than building out custom sites?
There's a lot of work that goes into building a custom site, and it's we've done custom sites, and you're looking at $10,000 minimum. Mm-hmm. Right? And a Carrot site has all the power of the stuff that we're going to do with way more to it, right? Mm-hmm. Included in it with, you got the CRM side on the back end, you've got the text message integrated. Like, it's the solution there, and the communication, the way it's built, it's the tech stacks there. You don't have to, it eliminates where I think people, when they build their own custom websites, what they fail to realize is you got a server to manage, you need a tech guy to manage that, you need all that. And you guys, for the cost, it's just a no-brainer. If a real estate investor comes to me and like, I'll talk to you later about the home services stuff that we're working on. Like, I want to figure out how we can get it to go in all those other markets too, because it just makes sense. It makes sense for someone to come out of the box, be able to get their site online very, very quickly. And then the SEO power that you've built into this, because I don't know, people probably know, listening to this, that have listened to you before, like, you really did it. You were kind of changing the game back in the day with SEO.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
that's where a lot of this comes from. So they get that, they tap into that knowledge. It just makes it's more cost effective, and it's a better long-term solution for our clients. And for me, it's all about giving our clients, whether it's us or someone else, what's the best thing for you to do.
Yep.
And I've told people, hey man, even with me, like, I'm not the right fit for you, but this person sounds like you'd probably be best working with this person, because we just want to do right by people. And I know if I refer Carrot, they're going to be done right by. So
I love it. I love it, man. Thanks,
Yeah,
dude. And I'm always looking for feedback too. And so as you guys use it more, or people that are listening to this use Carrot more, hit us with feedback. Dude, I'm so pumped going to this next year. We hired a new product manager who lives in San Diego. He's amazing. Oh, he's so good. His name is Jeff. And then we hired 2 engineers the past 60 days. We're going to be hiring another one in January. Guys, we're ramping up. Like we're ramping up to really make sure that we're building out an even better product, simplifying the product, add more power to it. So if you guys have feedback, DM me on Instagram. Go follow me on Instagram, Trevor.Mauch. That's MAUCH, Trevor.Mauch. I would love the product feedback on what would add a ton of value to the business, to your business, and to Carrot. And Nate, dude, I appreciate you hopping on, man. What I want people to do is go check out the marketplace listing in Carrot for your company. Marketing Rebels. It's carrot.com/marketplace. But dude, I know you have a lot of content and stuff online, all kinds of cool stuff. Where can people find you, follow you online?
Yeah, absolutely. You can hit me up on NateKennedy.com and you can access everything over there, or all my handles online, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram is Nate Kennedy, MD, Nate Kennedy, marketing doctor. And there you go.
Dude, I was always wondering where the MD was from, because Mark Evans has got his DM. I'm like, is he a dentist? Or then I learned that's not the case at all.
Yeah, he's the deal maker. I'm the marketing doctor.
That's funny.
Yeah, Nate Kennedy, MD, you can get me there.
Cool. I love it. Well, Nate, appreciate you, man. Have an amazing rest of the week. And guys, go follow Nate, NateKennedy.com. Find him in the marketplace. Hire someone to do this work for you if this is not up your alley. They're an amazing company to do that. Talk soon, guys.